The galaxy had changed. The silent border that had separated human space for 50,000 years was no more. Ships from many worlds now came freely to Horizon Station, bringing new ideas, stories, and hopes. Kalen looked out the window of the Venture with a heart full of wonder. They had come so far from the moment they first received the mysterious signal to standing together with humans and other races, sharing the ancient artifact's secret. Now the galaxy was opening up to new possibilities, but the future was not without challenges. During the last few months, the alliance of species grew stronger, yet old fears sometimes surfaced. Some worlds still doubted if trust could last. Others worried about how the powerful energy from the artifact would be used. Kalen knew that building peace was not easy. It required patience, honesty, and courage. And the hardest part was ahead, ensuring that no one would ever again feel the need to hide or threaten. One morning, as the sun rose over Horizon Station, Kalen joined Commander Lena and Captain Merrick in the command center. A message had arrived from a distant planet named Solara. It was a world struggling with conflicts and energy shortages. They asked to join the Alliance and learn how to use the artifact's energy. "This is a chance to help another world," Lena said with a smile. "But it will not be simple." Kalen nodded. "We must be careful but also hopeful." A team of experts, including Kalen and Valar, was sent to Solara. Their mission was to share knowledge, offer guidance, and build trust. When they arrived, they saw the challenges clearly. Solara was beautiful but scarred. Cities showed signs of damage from past wars, and the people were tired and cautious. Kalen met with Solara's leaders who were skeptical. "Why should we trust you?" one asked. "How do we know this energy will not be used against us?" Kalen understood the question. "Because we have learned from the past. We come not as conquerors but as friends. Together we can heal." Over the following weeks, the team worked hard. They showed Solara's people how the energy could be used to rebuild cities, clean rivers, and grow crops. Slowly, hope returned. One evening, Kalen stood with Solara's young people in a field of stars. The sky was clear, full of light. "Look at those stars," Kalen said. "For 50,000 years, many thought they were out of reach. Now they belong to all of us." A young Solaran smiled. "Maybe the future is brighter than we thought." Back on Horizon, the Alliance continued to grow. Trade routes opened, schools were built, and scientists shared discoveries. The artifact's energy was used not to control but to support life. Yet the galaxy still held mysteries. Deep space missions were planned to explore unknown regions. Kalen was chosen to lead one such journey. Before leaving, Kalen met with Lena. "Are you ready for what lies beyond?" Lena asked. Kalen smiled. "With what we have learned, yes. The universe is vast, but we are no longer alone." The Venture set off into the unknown, carrying the hopes of many worlds. During their journey, the crew found ancient ruins and signs of lost civilizations. They sent messages back to the Alliance, sharing their findings. One day, they discovered a planet with evidence of great past knowledge, now forgotten. Kalen felt a deep connection. We must learn from history, not repeat its mistakes. Back on Horizon, the Alliance faced a new challenge, a disagreement between two member races over how to share technology. Tensions rose, but Lena and Kalen helped guide peaceful talks. "Differences will happen," Lena said, "but our strength is in how we handle them." Slowly, understanding returned. The galaxy was learning to live as one. Years passed. Kalen looked back on the journey, from the first crossing of the border to the present day. So much had changed. Humans and their new friends had shown that respect and cooperation were stronger than fear and isolation. The silent border was not just gone. It was replaced by bridges, connections built with care and hope. Kalen knew the story was still being written. The future belonged to those who dared to believe in peace and unity. As the stars shone bright outside, Kalen felt ready. The galaxy was wide and full of wonders, but together all beings could explore it safely and freely. The future had truly begun. For 30,000 years, Earth had been silent. The stars had watched quietly as the blue planet spun through space, its people changing, growing, building new worlds far beyond their home. No ship had come from Earth's original people. No message had crossed the void until now. In the deep blackness of space, something moved. At first it was a tiny speck, barely visible to the satellites watching from Earth's orbit. But slowly that speck grew larger, revealing the shape of enormous starships sleek and shining with bright lights. They moved steadily, confidently through the darkness toward Earth. Down on Earth, the news spread fast. Scientists, politicians, and citizens all stared at their screens, watching the strange fleet appear in the sky. They called it the Celestial Return. The ships were unlike any spacecraft known to the current people of Earth. Their design was elegant but powerful, glowing with energy that seemed almost alive. The Celestials, the name given to these returning humans, were the descendants of the first people who had ever lived on Earth. Long ago, a terrible disaster had forced their ancestors to leave the planet. It was an event so terrible that those early humans had no choice but to build massive ships and travel far, far away to find new homes among the stars. For 30,000 years they had wandered the galaxy. Their descendants grew stronger, smarter, and more advanced. They built great cities in space and on distant planets, developing technology that Earth had never dreamed of. And now they were coming back. In a large room filled with scientists and leaders, Dr. Amina Patel stared at the screen, her eyes wide with surprise and curiosity. As the lead astronomer for Earth's Space Observation Network, she was among the first to detect the fleet. 30,000 years, she whispered. How is this possible? How have they returned after all this time? Beside her, General Marcus Raines looked grim. This changes everything. We have no idea what their intentions are. They could be friends or enemies. On Earth, people reacted in many different ways. Some were excited, filled with hope and pride. They saw the Celestials as lost family coming home at last. Others were afraid. They worried about what the returning humans might want. Would they take control of Earth again? Would they see the current inhabitants as strangers? News stations flooded the airwaves with questions and theories. Experts debated endlessly. Governments held emergency meetings. The world waited, watching the sky, holding its breath. Meanwhile, aboard the lead ship of the fleet, the Elysium, Commander Celine Arkwright stood on the bridge, looking out at the blue-green planet below. The Earth she saw was both familiar and strange. It was beautiful, full of life and color, but it was no longer the world her ancestors had left so long ago. We are home, Celine said softly to herself. Her crew moved with purpose and calm. They had trained for this moment for years, preparing for the return to Earth, ready to face whatever challenges might come. But no one could say exactly what awaited them. Commander, said Lieutenant Rao, her second in command, we are entering Earth's atmosphere. Communications are open. Should we send a message? Celine nodded. Yes, send the greeting. Let them know we come in peace. A message, simple and clear, was broadcast to every device on Earth. We are the Celestials. We are your kin. We have returned to reclaim our home and to share our knowledge and strength with all who live here. We come as friends. The message spread quickly. People listened with hope, wonder, and some with suspicion. In the following days, the Celestials began to reveal more about themselves. They spoke of the great disaster that had forced their ancestors to leave Earth, an event that had threatened to destroy all life on the planet. They had left to save their people, to find new worlds, and to grow strong enough to one day return. Earth scientists were amazed by the technology the Celestials showed. Their ships moved with silent grace. Their medicine could heal wounds that Earth's best doctors struggled to treat, and their knowledge of the stars was unmatched. But with the wonder came tension. Not everyone believed the Celestials' message of peace. Some groups demanded proof. Others feared the Celestials would try to take control of Earth's governments, resources, and land. In cities around the world, people gathered in both celebration and protest. Some held banners welcoming the return of humanity's first explorers, while others warned against trusting those who had been gone for so long. Amidst this, Dr. Patel worked tirelessly with her team, trying to understand the Celestials' technology and intentions. She was fascinated but cautious. We must learn from them, she said in a meeting, but we must also protect our world. In the skies above Earth, the celestial fleet remained in orbit, silent guardians waiting for the next step. Earth's leaders arranged a meeting with Commander Celine and her officers, hoping to build trust and open dialogue. The first encounter between the Celestials and Earth's leaders was tense but hopeful. The Celestials spoke with respect and pride, sharing stories of their journey and their dreams for a united future. They explained that their return was not to conquer, but to heal old wounds and help Earth thrive once more. Yet beneath the calm words, there was an unspoken question. How would Earth's people react to those who had left them behind so long ago? Could two very different worlds separated by thousands of years and countless stars find a way to live together? As the meeting ended, Commander Celine looked out over the council chamber, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. This is only the beginning, she thought. The story of Earth's future will be written by all of us together. And so, after 30,000 years of silence, Earth's ancient children had returned, ready to reclaim what was theirs, and to build a new chapter for all humanity. 30,000 years had passed since the Celestials left Earth. 3 long millennia during which Earth transformed beyond recognition. When the ancient humans first arrived back, they looked at their home and felt like strangers on their own planet. The Earth they had known was gone. Forests stretched where deserts had once been. Cities towered into the clouds, some built with shining glass and steel, others carved directly into mountains or floating on the oceans. Human life was not the only presence on this new Earth. Strange, beautiful creatures roamed the lands, and alien visitors walked among humans in great cities. The Celestials had left behind a world they understood. Now they had returned to a world they had to learn again. Commander Celine Arkwright stood on the bridge of the Elysium, looking down at the sprawling cities and vast landscapes. Her eyes narrowed thoughtfully. So much has changed, she said quietly.
And yet this is still Earth. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Rao, nodded.
We expected change, but we must be careful. The people down there, they do not all see us as friends. Below in the capital city of New Gaia, the heart of modern Earth, people gathered to see the fleet in the sky. The current inhabitants, who called themselves Terrans, were a mix of many cultures, some descendants of Earth's original humans, others from colonies in space, and some who had arrived from other worlds long ago. The Terrans were proud of their progress. They had built a peaceful society where humans and aliens worked together. Their technology was advanced but different from the Celestials. They had machines that healed illness and cities powered by clean energy. Still, they lacked the deep space experience and knowledge that the Celestials carried. At the Terran Council, the leaders debated how to respond to the newcomers. Ambassador Kira Dalen, a respected diplomat, spoke clearly. We must approach this with caution and openness. The Celestials are our ancestors, but they are also strangers to us now. Another council member, Elder Rail, shook his head. How can we trust them after all these years? They left Earth when we needed them. What if they come to take our homes, our resources? We cannot simply welcome them with open arms. In homes, schools, and workplaces, people talked about the Celestials' return. Children listened to stories of their distant ancestors who had crossed the stars. Teachers showed holograms of the ancient fleet and the journey they had taken. Some were excited, dreaming of meeting these legendary explorers, but not everyone felt joy. There were whispers of fear, of old wounds that had never healed. Some wondered if the Celestials would try to rule again, using their superior technology to take power. Others worried about the cultural differences. Would the Celestials accept the new Earth or try to force their old ways? On the ground, tensions grew. Small groups of protesters gathered holding signs that said, "Earth belongs to us now, and no more rulers from the stars." Meanwhile, others formed welcoming committees, eager to learn from the newcomers and share the future. Dr. Amina Patel, the lead astronomer from the previous part, was now working with a special team set up to study the Celestials' technology and culture. She had spent weeks analyzing the strange devices brought aboard the Elysium and trying to understand their knowledge of the universe. "Look at this," she told her team one morning, holding a small glowing orb. "This device can create energy from nothing but light. It's clean, powerful, and could change everything on Earth." Her assistant, a young engineer named Jalen, nodded eagerly. "Imagine the possibilities. We could power entire cities with just sunlight." But Amina's excitement was mixed with worry. We must also understand their values and intentions. Technology alone cannot solve the problems between us. If we want peace, we must learn to trust each other. Meanwhile, Commander Cellini met with the leaders of Earth in the Grand Hall of New Gaia. The room was filled with representatives from every corner of the planet, from human cities to alien settlements. Celine spoke with calm authority. "We come not to claim Earth by force but to share it. Our people fled to save ourselves and to grow strong. Now we return, not as rulers but as partners. Ambassador Kira replied thoughtfully, "Many here remember your stories as myths. The Celestials were lost in time. We welcome the chance to know you, but we must build that trust step by step." The talks continued for days. Both sides shared knowledge, asked questions, and explored the possibility of cooperation. But beneath the surface, old fears and new doubts lingered. One night, Selene stood outside the meeting hall looking up at the stars. Beside her, Lieutenant Rao said, "This will not be easy. We left Earth to survive, but now, coming home, survival means more than just strength. It means understanding." Selene nodded. "We must prove that we have changed, that we are worthy to be part of this world again." While the leaders debated, the streets of Earth told another story. The mixing of cultures sometimes led to misunderstandings. Some Celestials found it difficult to accept the new Earth's ways. They missed the order and traditions of their old lives. A young Celestial named Aaron wandered through a bustling market filled with Terrans and aliens. He marveled at the colorful stalls and the strange foods, but he felt out of place. When he tried to speak with some locals, their words and customs felt strange to him. Aaron thought of the stories his grandmother told him about Earth, of ancient forests, towering mountains, and clear blue skies. He wanted to connect with the land and people, but the world around him felt like a puzzle he could not solve. At the same time, Maya, a young Terran woman working in the city's technology center, watched the Celestials with curiosity. She admired their skill and knowledge, but worried about what their return might mean for her future. She said to her friend, "We have built a good life here, but will the Celestials respect that? Or will they try to change everything?" The answer was not yet clear. As the days passed, scientists from both sides began to work together. They shared discoveries and ideas, building bridges between their worlds. Some Celestials taught Earth's people how to travel faster through space, while Earth's inventors showed the Celestials new ways to protect the environment. But political leaders remained cautious. Secret meetings were held. Plans were made, just in case things went wrong. Some groups even began preparing for possible conflict, quietly building defenses. On one such night, Dr. Patel met with Commander Selene in a quiet garden inside the council building. "We want to believe you come in peace," Amina said gently, "but many fear that your return will bring more trouble than help." Selene looked into the night sky, then back at Amina. "I understand. We carry the weight of our past mistakes, but we are not the same people who left Earth. We have learned much in the stars. We want to share that knowledge, and we want to heal old wounds." Amina nodded slowly. "Then we must find ways to bring our people together. It will not happen overnight, but it can happen." The garden was silent for a moment, filled only with the soft sounds of the city beyond. Outside, the stars shone brightly, as if reminding everyone that despite the distance and time, Earth was still home to many, and that the future was theirs to create. In the weeks to come, both the Celestials and the Terrans would face many challenges, differences to overcome, fears to confront, and hopes to embrace. But for now, the first step had been taken. The long-lost children of Earth had returned, and the world had begun to listen. The sun had barely risen over New Gaia when the news came. A strange signal, unlike any Earth technology or celestial communication, had been detected far beyond the outer limits of the solar system. It was an alert, a warning that a mysterious presence was moving closer to Earth. At the Terran Council, the tension grew. The arrival of the Celestials had already unsettled many, and now this unknown signal threatened to shake their fragile trust. Ambassador Kira Dalen stood before the council chamber, her voice steady but urgent. "We face a new threat, one that could endanger all life on Earth. It is more important than ever that we stand united, Terrans and Celestials alike." Commander Selene Arkwright listened carefully. The Celestials had hoped to return peacefully, but the universe had other plans. This was no ordinary warning. The signal came from a hostile alien species, long rumored in scattered records but never seen. They were called the Vraxians, a warlike race known for conquering planets and destroying anything that resisted. Selene knew this threat could end all hopes of peace between Earth's people. "If we fight among ourselves now," she said quietly, "the Vraxians will destroy us all. Terran Council agreed to send a joint team of scientists and military leaders to learn more about the Vraxians and prepare Earth's defenses. Dr. Amina Patel was chosen to lead the scientific efforts, while General Marcus Raines would coordinate the military response. Days passed as Earth and the Celestials worked side by side, combining their knowledge and technology. The Celestials shared powerful shields and advanced weapons, while Earth's engineers improved communication systems and organized civilian safety plans. But the threat of the Vraxians created fear. Some people began to blame the Celestials for bringing danger back to Earth. Protests grew louder, and clashes between supporters of the newcomers and those opposed became more common. In a crowded marketplace, Aaron, the young Celestial who had struggled to fit in, faced angry words from locals. "Why did you come back?" one man shouted. "You bring war to our door." Aaron lowered his head, feeling the weight of his people's past mistakes. He wanted to help, to show the world that the Celestials were different now. But fear was a powerful force. Meanwhile, Maya, the Terran woman working in technology, volunteered to help with the defense efforts. She found herself working closely with Aaron and other Celestials, learning to trust those she once feared. "We have to believe in each other," Maya said one evening as they studied star maps. "If we fight, we lose. But together, maybe we can survive." The Celestials and Terrans began to see that survival depended not on power alone, but on trust. As the Vraxians drew closer, a council meeting was called, a gathering of leaders from all factions on Earth and the Celestials' representatives. The room buzzed with tension. General Raines stood, his voice strong. "We have two choices: unite and defend our home, or fall divided and perish. Our differences must not divide us now." Ambassador Kira added, "This is the test of our new relationship. Will we stand as one or fall apart?" Commander Celine stepped forward. "Our ancestors left Earth to protect their people, but we return to protect all life here. We offer our strength not to rule, but to defend." In that moment, the room was silent. Slowly, hands reached out to shake and plans were made for a combined defense force. The battle that followed tested every skill, every piece of technology, and every ounce of courage. The Vraxians arrived in massive fleets, their ships dark and deadly. They attacked with speed and ferocity, seeking to overwhelm Earth's defenses. But the combined forces of Terrans and Celestials fought back. Celestial energy shields blocked the worst of the Vraxian weapons, while Earth's fighters used their knowledge of the planet to protect key locations. In the skies above New Gaia, Aaron flew alongside Maya in a small combat ship, their teamwork proving vital. "Trust me," Aaron said during a fierce dogfight. Maya smiled, firing her weapons. "I'm learning." On the ground, Dr. Patel worked tirelessly, coordinating medical teams and researching ways to heal the wounded faster. Her heart ached for the lives caught in the battle, but grew hopeful as the Celestials and Terrans proved their strength together. After days of fighting, the Vraxians began to retreat. They had underestimated the unity of Earth's defenders. The combined power of two civilizations once strangers had turned the tide. In the aftermath, leaders met again. This time, their words were filled with hope. The battle had shown them what they could achieve together. Commander Celine addressed the council. "We still have much to learn from each other, but today, we stood as one. This is the future of Earth." Ambassador Kira smiled. "And it is a future worth fighting for." As Earth healed from the conflict, the Celestials and Terrans began to build stronger bonds. Trust was not immediate or easy, but it was growing. Aaron and Maya walked together through the city streets, now filled with celebrations for the victory. "Maybe this is the real homecoming," Maya said. "Not just returning to Earth, but building it together." Aaron nodded. "I believe that too." The stars above shone brightly, no longer silent witnesses, but part of a story still unfolding. A story of trust, courage, and a future forged by many hands. The skies over Earth were still alive with the glow of celebration. The great victory over the Vraxians had brought relief to many, but it had also opened a new chapter, one filled with hope, but also challenge. For the first time in millennia, the Celestials and the Terrans were truly united. They had fought side by side, protecting their home against a common enemy. Yet the victory was just the beginning. Together they had to rebuild trust, heal wounds, and prepare for whatever else the universe might bring. Commander Celine stood on the observation deck of the Elysium, watching the blue planet spin slowly beneath her feet. The battle had changed everything. It had shown the power of unity and the price of division. Beside her, Lieutenant Rao spoke quietly. Many people still fear us. Even after the battle, some see us as strangers or worse. The road ahead will not be easy, Celine nodded. But we have taken the first step. We must keep moving forward. On Earth, the cities were alive with activity. Celestial engineers worked alongside Terran scientists to repair damage from the battle and improve defenses. Medical teams shared knowledge, saving lives and teaching each other new ways to heal. In New Gaia's central square, a great monument was being built, a symbol of the alliance between Celestials and Terrans. It was a place for remembrance and for hope, a reminder that the future belonged to all who called Earth home. Meanwhile, Arin and Maya walked through the bustling streets side by side. Their friendship had grown strong during the battle, built on trust and shared experience. "Do you think people will ever truly accept us?" Arin asked, looking around at the mixed crowd. Maya smiled gently. "They are starting to. It takes time. But when we face the stars together, we're stronger." Their path led them to a busy workshop where engineers from both worlds were designing a new kind of spacecraft. Faster, smarter, and built for exploration rather than war. Dr. Amina Patel was there, overseeing the project. She greeted them warmly. "We're building the future here, not just for Celestials or Terrans, but for everyone." The workshop buzzed with energy. Ideas flowed freely as people shared knowledge and dreamed of new adventures. It was a sign that Earth's story was not just about survival, but about growth. But as the days passed, a new challenge emerged. In the quiet depths of space, far beyond Earth's orbit, a small scout ship approached. It was sleek, silent, and unlike anything seen before. Inside, a mysterious figure watched Earth's signals carefully. This was the Silaran, an emissary from a powerful alien alliance known as the Kavari. The Kavari had been observing Earth and the Celestials for some time. They were curious but also wary. The return of the Celestials and the recent conflict with the Vraxians had caught their attention. The Kavari were guardians of peace in this part of the galaxy. They did not tolerate war or threats to harmony. Now they faced a decision. Should they welcome Earth into their alliance or see it as a potential danger? Back on Earth, the Kavari's approach did not go unnoticed. Celestial sensors detected the ship and immediately alerted the Council. At the Terran Council, Ambassador Kira Dalen spoke again, her tone both cautious and hopeful. "The Kavari may be the key to a larger peace. If we can show them our unity, they might become powerful allies." Commander Celine agreed. "We must prepare for their arrival carefully. Our actions now will define how the galaxy sees us." The Kavari ship entered Earth's orbit, and a delegation was invited to the council chamber. Their leader, a tall figure with shimmering skin and bright eyes, stepped forward. "We have watched your world from afar," the Kavari leader said. "We have seen your struggle, your conflict, and your victory. The galaxy is vast and full of danger. Unity is your greatest strength." The council listened intently as the Kavari explained their mission to protect peace and help civilizations grow without violence. "You have shown courage," the Kavari leader continued, "but peace requires constant effort. We offer our guidance and support if you choose to walk the path of harmony." The room was filled with a mix of awe and relief. This was an opportunity Earth and the Celestials had never expected. Over the next weeks, representatives from the Kavari worked closely with Earth's leaders. They shared knowledge of diplomacy, technology, and defense. They helped organize training programs, teaching soldiers and civilians alike about nonviolent conflict resolution and cooperation. The Celestials and Terrans both found the Kavari's presence a calming influence. Old fears began to fade as new friendships formed. Commander Selene and Ambassador Kira often met with the Kavari leader to discuss plans for Earth's future. "We must become a beacon of peace," Selene said. "Not just for our planet, but for the galaxy," Kira smiled. "Together we can build a future where differences are celebrated, not feared." Meanwhile, Arin and Maya volunteered to join the Kavari's training programs. They learned new skills, new ways of thinking about conflict and community. One evening, as they watched the stars from a quiet hill, Arin said, I never imagined that coming home would mean joining something bigger than myself. Maya nodded. Neither did I. But maybe that's what home really means, not just a place, but a promise to protect and grow. Back in the workshop, Dr. Patel and her team unveiled a new project, a fleet of exploratory ships designed for peaceful missions across the galaxy. These ships combined celestial technology and Terran innovation, a true symbol of unity. As the fleet was prepared for its first journey, the entire planet watched with hope. The future was still uncertain. There would be challenges ahead, old fears to overcome, new dangers to face. But Earth's people, celestial and Terran alike, had learned an important lesson. They were stronger together. The stars above Earth sparkled with possibility, shining on a planet reborn, not just as a home, but as a beacon of unity and hope for all who dreamed of peace among the stars.